looking at there, and then we've been looking at all the picture of just the rubble and the devastation, and the second day really of daylight there. In the meantime, let's bring in CNN's Chad Myers. Chad, we have been talking about what's going on there, especially as it comes to a possible exposure.
Yeah.
This is a failure, a possible failure, and they said that would be really catastrophic if that does happen. What's going on? Show us where it is and tell us about the issues here.
It's a failure to keep the rods in the reactor cool enough, because they were supposed to have diesel generators backing up power to keep the pumps running, to keep the water flowing through the reactor. Well, about an hour after the earthquake, the tsunami actually killed the diesel generators. So all of a sudden, the generators didn't work anymore. And so they went to back up battery power. Battery power lasted about 8 hours. So they trucked in as many batteries as they could to try to keep this water running. Go ahead and let's zoom now. This is the nuclear power plant. We're going to zoom out and show you how close this was to where all of these earthquakes are. There have literally been almost 200 earthquakes out here in the trench here just to the east of Japan. The shake happened, and then there was another shake, and then all of a sudden there were 4 shocks to this earthquake. We always hear about aftershocks, but there was an earthquake 2 days ago. That was a 7.2 as a foreshock. They knew things were going, and they knew that there was a potential for more earthquakes, but they didn't realize that the 7.2 was going to be foreshadowed by an 8.9 later on. So the nuclear power plant, you have to think about this. It's almost like when you have a reactor and you have the entire reactor sitting there like a bag of popcorn in your microwave. And no, don't even worry about the word microwave. But it's popping, and one kernel pops at a time. That's okay. That's how you want a reactor to work. It heats the water turns to steam, the steam turns a generator, and you get power. But what's happening now, or what could potentially be happening, is literally take that bag of popcorn in your microwave and pop every kernel at the same time. You're at a super critical phase where if you can't cool this down and you can't stop this reaction, you're in a very, very dangerous place.
Chad, listen, stand by. As we talk about this, I want to go to live to Japanese television, NHK. They're showing right now what life is like there for people who are in Japan. We've seen some new pictures, Chad, from the streets. One question, Chad, I want you to ponder as we talk about these live images that are coming from our affiliate. I imagine this is tape, but...
Thanks very much. Happening now, breaking news. A nuclear meltdown may be underway in Japan right now, only hours after an explosion at that plant. A safety official tells CNN that a catastrophic failure of one reactor could be happening even as we speak, with the potential for widespread radiation release. Also this hour.
That's where the similarities end. The situations are basically different. The meltdown itself, the nuclear meltdown itself, is a very scary thing for all scientists, as they've been calling it their worst nightmare ever.
150 kilometers north of Tokyo to prevent possible meltdown after a powerful blast at the facility. It was reportedly caused by a failure in the pumping system and not the reactor itself, which was undamaged. A 20-kilometer radius evacuation zone has been imposed, but latest reports from Japan say that 15 people have exposed to radioactivity near the facility. The Fukushima atomic power plant in Japan triggered fears of possible nuclear fallout after a devastating earthquake. The reactor's roof has collapsed, injuring 4 workers. People within 20 kilometers of the plant are being moved from their homes.